this is a first. We have a contender for the end of service killer, the reverse end of service, sir. The end of service that got end of serviced. The, for all the intents and purposes, revival of service. Yeah, I could go on. I've been looking forward to Archeland ever since I was first made aware of it. I think like a year and a half ago. And after repeated setbacks, it eventually launched. It did absolutely terrible. I don't know why the devs were so disconnected and brain dead, but they, after a catastrophic failure, announced their end of service in a blog post titled Archeland Service Termination Notice. Hello strangers, this is C. First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to all foreigners who have shown much support and love to Archeland. Archeland has been spending time with strangers for a year and a half since its release in December 2022. Our adventures with strangers over the past year have been precious to us. The support of all foreigners was the driving force that allowed us to move forward. You are welcome. This is why I covered your game in a dedicated video, so I could get this kind of recognition. Unfortunately, you repay me by announcing your end of service before allowing me to play your game. Come on, dude. That just ain't right. Thinking back on all the important moments we've had since we first met, 100 days, half a year, the 1-year anniversary, the beautiful memories that we made on those special days. Yes, they were beautiful. I remember the sweet caress of your warm embrace. I remember you whispering sweet nothings into my ear and then fucking me in the ass by announcing an end of service. Are you serious? But every story has an end. And after careful consideration, we would like to inform you, our readers, that Archeland will end its service on Wednesday, August 1st, 2024. That is like 3 days from now. Wow, okay. When was this posted? The 2nd of July. All right. At the same time, we hope you'll accept our gratitude and our deepest apologies. So the reason they decided to shut this down was because it made literally no money. According to Gacha revenue, this game on average every day for like the last 8 months has made less than $10,000. This game is so dead. I cannot fathom how a game has remained online for an entire year, making like $10,000 to $20,000 a month. It is insane. So I completely understand why they opted to shut the game down. They continued, I am truly sorry that I cannot continue my adventures with you strangers. I hope you have good memories of your time on the Celestial Continent. Group C, on behalf of all of the staff at Archeland, we'd like to once again express our sincere gratitude to all the strangers for their support and love for Archeland. There are admittedly a lot of comments left, but unfortunately these are like images. I can't actually translate them. Either way, a couple weeks later, the devs decided, you know what? We're gonna make another blog post. This time, we are going to call it Notice of Suspension of Plan to End Service. Yes. As opposed to service termination notice, this is a notice that we are suspending our service termination because evidently that $10,000 a month was imperative to their overall success as a studio. Or this is that is one of my little tinfoil hat theories. I think that they are of the impression that by canceling their end of service are gonna win back the goodwill of the people, that people are going to assume, oh my god, the devs really care. The devs care so much that they are going to potentially forfeit a positive return on their investment just so they can keep the servers running. I am going to reward this act of kindness by spending money in their game. That is what I think could be a potential outcome, at least in their mind. Hello strangers, this is C. After the announcement of the end of Archeland service on July 2nd, through various feedbacks, we can feel the love and regret that you, the strangers, have for Archeland. We realized that many shortcomings that prevented us from operating properly and reflected deeply on this. Only after announcing that we were closing our game did we realize the many shortcomings that prevented us from operating properly. And then, thusly, we decided to reflect deeply on our actions. No, not for the 2 years the game remained online for. No, not the repeated $10,000 a month or less that we made. The mass exodus of players because of how crap your game ultimately ended up being. No, they were not evidence. What made you come to this new realization was that there were a few comments left on your blog post after announcing your end of servicing. That is it. That is it. That helped clarify for you guys what you needed to do, what you needed to reflect on. Sure, okay, yeah. Before we talk any further about the reverse end of service, let me take a moment to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members for allowing me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's get going. We are impressed by the feedback from you, strangers. At the same time, we rethought the operation of Archeland within the company. When many problems arise, we are faced with limitations in our perception and lack of ability. I realized that I often failed to make the right decisions and disappointed strangers. Yes, this was a year and a half of, of these repeated failures. We deeply regret this and apologize to you. Although it has been a long time, we still want to sincerely apologize to you, strangers. I'm truly sorry for failing to properly run Archeland and betraying the trust and expectations of our fellow strangers. But don't worry, now that we're ceasing the suspension of our service, we are going to remain live. We promise we will listen to you henceforth. So please do not abandon us and instead come on over and spend some money. We believe that running a game is not just about providing game content. I have come to deeply realize I must work hard to maintain the trust of strangers. I also deeply reflect on the fact that I should not betray the trust of strangers who have used the game. Yes, I don't know why any studio would betray the trust of their players. That's a recipe for disaster. That's like putting the nail in the coffin, you know, dozens of years before you're even anticipating death. We realized how big a mistake we had made while operating before. We realized we made an enormous mistake only after announcing we were shutting down. I do not want Archeland to leave like this, leaving only regrets. What I'd rather do is milk you guys for a little bit more so I can put food on my table and I can support my gambling habits. After deep internal reflection and many meetings, we've decided to stop Archeland's service termination process and continue providing game services. I don't know where we're gonna get the funding to do so, but you know, we're doing it. And to correct the mistakes of the past, we'd like to give you all compensation we can within our capabilities. They've announced that they are going to provide dubs for all of the new characters that did not have dubs before. The dubs were removed, like they didn't include dubs for the characters because they just had no funding to do so. But I mean, apparently now they do. There is gonna be compensation, apparently. 100 celestial keys, 100 divine protection keys, and 4,000 diamonds. I mean, that's pretty cool. Everyone will be given 3-month privileges for an entire year. Okay, that's a whole lot of stuff you get, yeah. You get a bunch of diamonds, you get a bunch, so they're giving, they're like, please, here, just take, okay, maybe that's the wrong motion to make. They're like, here, take this, and this, and this. They're like, what they did was they saw what Kudo did with Wuthering Waves, and they're like, people were happy that they received compensation. Let's do that too. Now, this is a little concerning, but at the same time, I'm not going to criticize them for doing this, especially if they are genuine in their want to actually improve the game. We hope that our future companionship will help us soothe the regrets of the past. I'll do my best to ensure that the time I spent on the Celestial Continent remains a fond memory for you, strangers. Group C represents all the staff of Archeland in this position. We'd like to once again express our sincere gratitude to all strangers for their love and understanding towards Archeland. And there have been even more comments this time around. Wow, okay. There's even, yeah, cool. No, that is great. I think this is great news for anyone interested in Archeland. I think that this could be a ploy to just make more money, but at the same time, they're giving out tons of free stuff, which might mean that players aren't going to spend any money at all. They're also dubbing a lot of characters that didn't have dubs before, which means that they're going to be spending a bunch of money as well. So, I mean, I think this is good. I think it's good. At the same time, it might be too little too late. I think the devs are evidently fairly incompetent, but while they are incompetent, they seem passionate and they seem like they want to fix the mistakes of the past. And I feel like we don't have to spend money in the game, but we can nonetheless give them the benefit of the doubt here and at least let them try. Now, if none of this is of any interest to you, though, I have no problem. Got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now that might be more up your alley.